Investigators, a one-time suspect in a Woonsocket murder, may testify against the remaining defendant.
We found out about a cache of evidence just released by the state in the murder of 81-year-old Constance Gauthier, who was stabbed more than 60 times. Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau joins us now with the details.
The list of potential evidence and witnesses is nearly 100 pages long. It was released late last week, about 2 weeks after the defense filed a motion and claimed the state had not released any evidence.
State your name.
21-year-old Matthew Dussault told police he witnessed Tyler Grennan stab Constance Gauthier in March of 2016, but Woonsocket police alleged DNA evidence tied only Dussault to the crime scene. Charges against Grennan were dismissed earlier this year for what was said to be a lack of physical evidence. According to a new court filing by the state, if called, Grennan is expected to testify against Dussault about a number of interviews he did with investigators since the murder. The 245-page police interview transcript of Matthew Dussault was also released to his attorneys. Dussault's mother has questioned the interrogation, telling Target 12 last year her son has an IQ under 70 and would not have understood he had the right to remain silent.
But if you ask him something, you know, he may say, "Oh, yeah." But in reality, he has no idea what you just said.
2 knives were used, according to Dussault, and pictures of knives were also among the evidence recently released. 12 of them seized from Dussault and 3 from Grennan. Police have not said whether or not they found the murder weapons, and no one has commented about whether or not there is a suspected motive. 26 grand jury exhibits were also released to the defense, as well as a long list of forensic evidence. Dussault has been held without bail since last July, with a bail hearing scheduled for later this month. With the Target 12 investigators, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.
Tonight, the Target 12 investigators have new developments in a Woonsocket murder case we've been tracking for years.
We've learned a group of individuals once implicated in the crime now may be called as witnesses. Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau joins us now with what he's uncovered about that and a list of evidence in the case.
The list of potential witnesses and evidence is about 100 pages long, and it includes DNA evidence, pictures of knives, and witness testimony. About 2 months before Matthew Dussault was arrested, court filings indicate Woonsocket police were focused on another group of individuals in the murder investigation. According to the search warrant affidavit, a woman told police her daughter said around the date of the Gauthier stabbing, 3 men and 1 woman went to a home to rob an elderly woman, but 2 of them, quote, ended up stabbing her, with 1 of them, quote, covered in blood afterwards. Now, those 4 individuals are on the list of potential witnesses released by the state, including Lee Gervais, who is currently locked up for an unrelated breaking and entering charge. The 245-page police interview transcript of Matthew Dussault was also released to his attorneys. Dussault's mother has questioned the interrogation, telling Target 12 last year her son has an IQ under 70 and would not have understood he had the right to remain silent.
If you ask him something, you know, he may say, "Oh, yeah." But in reality, he has no idea what you just said.
Dussault told police he witnessed Grennan stab the victim with 2 knives, but investigators said DNA evidence connected only Dussault to the scene. The charges against Grennan were dropped earlier this year. Grennan is also listed as a potential witness for the prosecution. Dussault is scheduled for a bail hearing later this month. With the Target 12 investigators, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.